Welcome back. Now we're going to have a lesson on probably one of the least used or least studied or least practiced elements of music education, and that is ear training. Training our ears to distinguish different harmony types, chord types, major, minor, diminished, suspended. Same for scales, being able to distinguish, a major pentatonic versus a minor pentatonic versus the different modes, all just by tonality. Being able to distinguish rhythms, rhythm patterns. All these things fall under ear training. And I'll tell you right now, when I was in music school, I blew off ear training. There was just so much being jam-packed in 1 year of music education that I just didn't put as much time into training my ears as I wish I would have while I was there in that environment. It led to me not being able to learn songs very easily from ear after I got out of school. But, after a couple of years of continuing to play as a musician and record and tour and whatnot, I developed my ears. It happened after years of playing the instrument and making music and associating what I was hearing on the radio or in my head. If I was playing, improvising with what I knew would occur on the fretboard, so I could kind of distinguish stuff. And it's only gotten better over the years. The more I learn songs by ear, the better my ears get. That is kind of the key to ear training, is learning music by ear. You don't have to learn a whole song, but pick apart your favorite solos or melodies. Melodies are a great place to start because they're generally singable and they're easy and they're not blisteringly fast like, guitar leads and stuff. So, pick a vocal melody or a instrumental melody or even a guitar melody and learn that. And it's going to teach you the relationship between the intervals, very important. And it's going to kind of give you an idea of the vocabulary, the musical vocabulary of the genre that you're trying to learn. I've been showing you scales, and it's important to learn scales and get them under your fingers, and because that's how we make music: scales, chords, arpeggios. But then you have to take that basic knowledge and put it into the vocabulary of a musical genre. And every vocabulary kind of is different. They have different rhythms. They have different note choices. Let me kind of give you an example. And so listen to how these, I'm going to play kind of 3 different genres around the same notes and hear how they're kind of different, okay? So I'm not a big jazz player, but we'll play kind of a jazzy line. And I'm just going to kind of focus on these notes for all my examples. So it's got kind of that swing feel, that kind of 40s. But if I wanted to play blues phrasing, taking the same notes, right? There's just a straight scale. But if I wanted to make it bluesy, very vocal, right? Very bluesy. If I wanted to play kind of straight rock using the same notes, So each genre that you're trying to learn, you have to pick up the vocabulary. So a great way to kind of learn phrases within, your idiom, your genre. Don't try to learn a whole scale. Start with just a phrase. I had a great bass teacher one time. I was trying to learn a difficult piece of music, And he said, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And so how do you tackle a whole guitar solo? One phrase at a time. So pick out a phrase that really stands out to your ear. Something that, like, I want to learn that and have that in my bag of tricks so I can play it, right? And so maybe you hear... and you really dig that movement right there. So you learn it. And then once you have it down under your fingers, you've learned it by ear, even if you have to go, no, that's not it. Yeah, that's the first note. Okay, and then the next note. No, that's not it. Oh, that's it. Okay. And then it bends. Oh, okay. So it's trial and error until you figure it out. And then once you figured it out, you apply your theory to it. This way you'll be able to remember it, have something to call it, and then be able to play it anywhere on the neck, not just where that one spot where you learned it. So this would be the root, the major second, the major third, and then we bend up to the fourth. So then, you could take that down here. And play the exact same phrase. Now you have it everywhere on the fretboard because you theoretically understand the note relationships. So you know that anytime you bend up to the fourth and drop down to the one, you're going to get that sound. So the first element of training your ears is close listening. And that it applies to music, like when you're listening to a song, trying to hear the chord movement, trying to hear the melody or the solo. It also applies, more importantly, to your own playing. So when you're playing a chord, I'm just going to play a little minor triad right here. You could sit there and just practice that. But if you slow down and pick those notes out and listen to the relationships, and then you know that, okay, my root's on top, and this is my fifth, and this is my minor third. It's going down. Root, fifth, third, root, third, fifth, third. And it's really important to start singing what you're playing. That's the whole key. When you sing it and vocalize it, you hear it in your head. And you make the connection with what's the note that's resonating inside your head with what's under your fingers on the fretboard. And then when you want to improvise or create a melody on the fly, whatever you hear in your head is connected to what's under your fingers on the fretboard. That's the big key to musical freedom and self-expression and improvisation. Singing what you play. I didn't want to do this for the longest time. I've had some great teachers who all told me the same thing. Sing what you play and that'll develop your ears. And I was like, oh, I hate singing. I don't like my voice, blah, 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 blah. It's not about being a lead singer and having a good voice. It's about vocalizing the tones and the distances between the tones and being able to hear in your head the difference between major, minor, fifth, sixth, seventh, etc. So real quick on how would you sing scales or chord tones or arpeggios or whatever. It's a method called, I believe it's called solfege or something like that. It's a classical vocal choral technique. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. For some reason, those sounds, those little syllables, are the exact pitches in order of a major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. So you just do that, right? And then start doing intervals. Start skipping them instead of going do, re, mi, fa, so. You do do, mi, and that's your third, root to the third. Do, mi. Now your minor third is going to be another mi, the same sound, but a little flat. Do, mi, do, mi, do, mi, versus major. Do, mi, do, mi. It's brighter. Do, mi. And the same goes for other chord tones. Ti. It's the major seventh. Do, 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 ti, do, ti. See, minor seventh. Ti, ti. So it's, you get used to hearing, and then you also get the benefit of learning how to sing if you want to sing later. And then you could do it for pentatonic scales as well. Instead of doing do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, you would just skip them, and you would just play like the major pentatonic scale. Do, re, mi, sol, la, do. Do, re, mi, sol, la, do. Do, la, sol, re, mi, do. Using the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, you can sing chord tones. Do, mi, sol, ti. That's the way to use solfege, which I think is how you pronounce that, to sing intervals, chords, scales, arpeggios, and it really gets it in your head. Then do it with melodies, you know. Once you start, learning a melody, right, we'll do that one. That's our do. Do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do. It's going to be the same thing. Cool, right? So, another great way to really improve your ears and improve your playing overall is to record yourself. You can have some plug-in on your computer or GarageBand, or whatever, or you can do a video. Just put a backing track on YouTube or whatever and turn your phone on and record yourself. But recording yourself playing, especially to a backing track, that's what's imperative. Don't just record yourself playing by yourself. Because there's no rhythm associated with it, and there's no underlying harmony, so you can kind of get away with playing whatever notes you want, and that's not what you want to do. You want to focus on chord tones, pick out certain scale tones, maybe a sixth, maybe a flat five, and hear how those affect your phrasing and the resolution, things like that. So record yourself, put on a backing track, play along with it, play melodies, play bits of solos that you've learned, whatever. Play scales, play modes, whatever. But listen to, one, the quality of your playing. Are you playing too heavy and kind of beating out the notes? Are you playing too light and barely getting anything out? You want that middle ground, that nice, you don't want a real hard attack with your right hand. The harder you play, the slower you're going to be. So if you play gentle and fluid and light, you can get speed and dynamics. If you play with a kind of light touch, you can always play a little bit harder. Or even a little bit harder. And then, within one phrase, change your dynamics. Soft, louder, back to soft. So really be critical of your own playing and work on improving your tone. Your tone comes from your hands, not from your equipment. Another great reason to record yourself, I equate it to learning to play chess. Me and my best friend would come home every day after work and get some coffee going and just play chess for hours. And we played timed chess with a timer that is, you have like 5 minutes total to make all your moves within the game. And whenever you make a move, you hit your clock and your clock stops. So playing chess that quickly, you play a lot of games back to back, which is the same as playing the same song over and over and over again, back to back. When you play a lot of chess over and over and over, you see yourself making the same mistakes. And after, 10 games or so, you're going to realize, man, every time I move my knight over there to the middle, he takes it with his queen. And so you're going to stop moving that knight into the middle. You will learn through repetition and analysis that, hey, I don't want to do that anymore. Likewise, when you're playing, you will realize that, every time the song goes from the 1 to the 4, I play this bum note. And that's not cool. I need to fix that and find a better note to play there. So from playing it over and over and over again and listening, you will spot mistakes in your playing and then be able to fix them. There's no other way to fix them than to know that they're there, and you won't know they're there if you're not critically listening to your own playing. So that's the key to ear training. Sing what you play, learn songs by ear, and that's the magic. That's it. That's the magic bullet. That will develop your ears. You'll be able to learn songs by ear. You'll be able to improvise, and you'll be able to make up your own music, melodies and harmonies and whatnot, because you will have it internalized. Those sounds reverberating in your head, and I want to go from here to the minor third. I want to go from that minor third to a minor sixth or whatever. So I hope this has been helpful. Get yourself some ear training under your belt, and you will find that you are a much more liberated, professional sounding, competent musician, and your playing will definitely improve as a result. Thanks for stopping by.